Hi, this is Pat Hanahoe-Dosch, your professor, and I'm here today to go over the Essay 2 assignment with you. Now, the objectives are pretty much the same as they were in Essay 1. You'll notice that many of the instructions are pretty much the same as well. So, for example, you must have 3 full pages. Again, not 2.5, not 2 3/4, but 3 full pages, a minimum of 5 paragraphs. Again, most of you will need much more than that. Please, again, do not go over 6 pages. If your essay is looking like it's going to be more than even 5 pages, you need to narrow your thesis down. Okay. Again, also use 11 or 12 point font, Times New Roman or Arial with normal margins. Okay. Again, you must write an organized, fully developed essay based on one of the following topics, and it must be one of the following topics. You must have a thesis, of course, and you must support your points with specific examples, quote, paraphrases, or summaries from the article or essay you are analyzing, or ad, or comic. You must have at least one quote from it somewhere in your essay, but you will probably need more to support your points. Your thesis must be an argumentative analysis one because you are writing an analysis paper. Again, very similar to the last essay. You must also use at least one other source. It also must be an article, not a book, though you may use a book as well, but you must have at least one article from the Hack Library's databases. Again, no internet. Please, I want you to really focus on using the databases. For Essay 3, you may use sources from the internet or wherever as well as the databases, and we'll talk more about that when we get to Essay 3. But here, no internet, only use the databases. Again, you may have a book, whatever, but you must have at least one article from the Hack databases to support your points. You must cite your quotes, paraphrases, or summaries correctly using the 8th edition of MLA citation style. Make sure, again, that your paraphrases and summaries are in your own words and sentence structures. Okay? If you're going to use the author's words, you must quote directly. All right. Include also a copy of the article from the database, copied or pasted into your the bottom of your essay after the works cited list. If you have to, you may also attach it to the Dropbox instead, but it's easier for me if it's in the actual document. Note, Wikipedia is not a valid academic resource. Again, I realize that's controversial, but I don't want you using it because it's a very suspect source. Even though it's gotten better over the years, it still can be a dangerous source to use. So again, no internet source. Okay, topics. The first one, you're going to read the essay that's in your book, okay? It's a student essay, and then you're going to find a political cartoon. So the student essay is similar to what you're writing. And you're going to find a political cartoon in some form of media that was published within the past 60 days. It could be in a newspaper, magazine, or online, but here's the thing. It must be a static cartoon. Okay, don't use a video. Write an essay evaluating or analyzing that cartoon, arguing whether or not it's effective in getting across its message. You don't have to agree with the message. You're not arguing the message. Okay? What you're doing is analyzing the cartoon and arguing whether or not the cartoon is effective in delivering its message. Okay? And how and why. All right, and well, you can read through the rest, but on page 162 is a checklist, an example of a student essay, and 165 to 166, which you can use as guides to help you write this. You must include a copy of the cartoon at the bottom of your essay or as an attachment in the Dropbox. I can't grade this without seeing that cartoon. I have to see it. Number 2, you're analyzing an essay in the book. Okay. Actually, excuse me, that's not true. You're analyzing an editorial that I gave you as an attachment here in the Dropbox. So it's also a link here in the instructions, so you can pull that up. And then you're going to write an essay analyzing the argument. Again, you're analyzing whether or not it's an effective argument, not whether or not you agree with the author. And don't let your opinion of the topic interfere with your ability to analyze the argument. And the last topic is where you can find an advertisement in some form of media that was published within the past 60 days. It can be a newspaper, a magazine, or online, but it must be a static one, not a video or TV ad. All right, it must be static, not a video or TV. You're going to write an essay evaluating, analyzing it, arguing whether or not it's effective at getting across its message. Again, you don't have to agree with the message. You're not arguing the message or the product for that matter. You're arguing about how effectively it gets across that message. It's an analysis. You must include a copy of the ad, or at least a link to it in the bottom of your essay. It's much more effective to actually give me a copy of it. Right? I can't grade it without seeing the ad, because then I won't know how well effectively you argued your analysis if I don't see the ad. Also, don't turn in an essay that you wrote for a marketing or other class. That's cheating. This must be an original paper written for this assignment. I say that, I've come across this before. I know all the marketing teachers. They'll turn you in. They will rat you out if I ask them about it. So don't do it. Not that anybody here would think about doing that, I'm sure. I'm saying for the record. It's been done before. So don't do it again. Don't you do it. All right? Thanks and good luck. Again, if you have any questions, make sure you ask me. It's what I'm here for. I've included a checklist at the bottom of the instructions, and there's a checklist in your learning module. Please make sure that you go through it and double check that you've included everything that I've asked of you. Because remember, if you don't follow the instructions, if you don't do things correctly, you will fail the assignment for not meeting the parameters of the assignment. And you don't want to do that. You're putting too much work into this. You want to be successful, right? So just double check everything. Thanks. And again, ask me if you have questions. That's what I'm here for. Good luck. Take care.